Victoria Bowers, this is my husband Ed, and this is my brother Hunter. In December 2012, I became very sick. I went to the emergency room many times and was misdiagnosed. A few weeks later, I found myself in the office of a GI doctor. I was then scheduled to have a few invasive diagnostic tests in the hospital. After completing those tests, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. My life was forever changed that day. I had to make many life changes in order to be able to cope with this debilitating disease. I lost the quality of life I once knew. I would like to educate you on what Crohn's disease is and how it affects people like me. Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory condition of the gastrointestinal tract that belongs to a group of conditions known as inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD. It is important to know that Crohn's disease is not the same thing as ulcerative colitis, which is another type of inflammatory bowel disease. The symptoms between the two are similar, but affected areas are quite different. With Crohn's disease, it can begin in the colon and end in the small bowel, which is also called the ileum, and it can infect the entire GI tract from the mouth to the anus. And ulcerative colitis is limited to the colon or the large intestine. Crohn's disease affects the entire thickness of the bowel wall. Ulcerative colitis only affects the innermost lining of the colon. Crohn's disease has inflammation in the intestines that skips, which leaves normal areas between or around patches of diseased intestine. In ulcerative colitis, there is no skipping. Crohn's disease is a chronic disease where patients will likely experience periods when the disease flares up and causes symptoms, followed by periods of remission. Crohn's disease is an autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks the body. Diet and stress have been shown to be factors that contribute to Crohn's disease symptoms. Environmental factors and genetics have been proven to have some type of factor with Crohn's disease. Living with Crohn's disease is life-changing. It can be overwhelming to process, to deal with the changes that have to be made on a daily basis. It can be debilitating if not managed correctly, and you have to make many lifestyle changes and stick with it to have success. Crohn's disease can affect anyone, but is manageable if treated correctly. Achieving remission is the ultimate goal when battling Crohn's disease.
What kind of foods can you eat being diagnosed with Crohn's disease?
Nothing greasy, nothing with seeds, low residue, no whole grains. I eat potato bread, lean meats like fish, a lot of rice. I'm also lactose intolerant, so there's lactose-free things like almond milk, coconut milk. It limits what you can eat.
Does it affect your immune system? Will it make it any worse?
The Crohn's disease doesn't affect my immune system, but the medicine that I take, I take subcutaneous injections every 4 weeks on my legs, and that medicine is a TNF blocker, which lowers my immune system.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.